Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. And this is for the September 6th slate, which for me is in 2 minutes. It's almost midnight. So I apologize if I sound a little tired. I just got off work, but we're working again. The grind never stops. So we start actually, let's start with something I wanted to mention. Well, first of all, I need a subscriber. Someone subscribe. Unless I already hit it, I don't know. But I posted this like a few minutes ago. I was one off. I put my picks here. I did like a little, like a I call this the retirement parlay. And Vientos, Montgomery, and Zardo was voided. So obviously it wasn't even close, but I was one off on this one. I had Montgomery, Devers, and then Varsho hit the double in the ninth inning, which was like, but it's okay. Like I would say, parlays are for fun. They're not, they're not for retiring unless you hit a lucky one, which some people have recently. One other thing I did remember what I wanted to point out. Sorry, it's just like so late. My brain is fried. A lot of people ask me for the Discord. So this is my channel. This is the description. This is what it looks like. If you click more, the Discord's right here. If this doesn't work, let me know. But a lot of people will comment, send me the Discord. But literally, it's right here. Literally. I just figure, it would help save a little bit of time. So anyway, let's get started on the slate. I haven't looked at the weather yet. We got right to left of Yankee Stadium. Pretty hard too. So it's actually, as we kind of saw today, there weren't very many home runs, right? I know Stanton hit one. Well, today, aka Friday. Where the heck is the game? There it is. Oh, that was their only run. And then the Blue Jays had, so it's really righties that hit. So maybe be a little cautious of the lefties with this type of wind. Bassett can give up quite a few home runs. He's not that bad this year. Same with Gill, but Gill's only pitched 29 innings. So just keep that in mind as like a very small sample size. So I'm kind of leaning towards preferring the righties again in this game based on the wind. And this is actually stronger than the wind was on Friday. But the weather's warm. So, you can still pick the typical like Grisham and all them. But I would prioritize, wrong sport. Stanton Judge again. I think that's where I'd go. They do really like Ben Rice still. They always just love Ben Rice. Of course, me and Varsho, he's my guy, but unfortunately he didn't pull it off on Friday. That would have been a nice hit because I put in my Discord and a lot of people would have hit that. So you can go back to Springer. You can go back to Vladdy since he hit on Friday. I like going back to back. And Vladdy is kind of heating up a little bit. So anyone in this game is okay, but I would prefer the righties. That's really what I'm getting at. Unless the wind changes. So pay attention. It is the early game though. But if you use this page, covers.com, for a fresh hit, this could change. So yeah, it looks pretty good. And the over-under is 9.5, so it's a good over-under. Next game would be the Nats and Cubbies. A lot of these games are weird because like the Cubs long shots I'll hit. I mentioned in my Discord that I liked Reese McGuire as like a sneaky long shot, and a lot of other people mentioned him too. And yeah, he hit his first at bat, so that was cool. Even Horner hit a home run, but with the wind, it was insane, right? And yeah, they did what they were supposed to do, except for Bush. Suzuki is just not having it right now, but Hap stays hot. We've talked about Brad Lord. The wind is still really good. And he's not a bad pitcher, but I think we can still target him. I think you just kind of stick with, I mean, really here, you could take anybody. I would still stick with Happ and Swanson, and I still like Bush, but I understand if you don't want to take him because he has cooled off. And then I do kind of like Tucker, though. I'd actually like Tucker more than Bush just because he got the day off if he plays on Saturday. I don't know what is going on with him, but so really Happ and Swanson just because they're really heating up. And I'm okay with Tucker and Bush. Just don't go too crazy because Lord isn't that bad of a pitcher. So I can see this game being more tame than the game was on Friday. Because we know Jake Irvin, is his name Jake? We know Irvin isn't the best pitcher. As far as Nats go, I mean, they're facing Matthew Boyd, who's really good. I would just be careful. Maybe DeJong. He used to be on the Cardinals, so he played at Wrigley Field a lot when he was with the Cardinals. And, I mean, that's pretty much it. I wouldn't take too many Nats here, unless you're feeling it. If you want a super duper long shot, take Jacob Young. This guy hits no home runs. He has like, I know he randomly hit one not that long ago, but like this guy just does not hit home runs today because it is now 12:04 a.m. Anyway, I actually didn't take any Nats today or Friday, and I'm still not going to take any Nats on Saturday. That's how I'm going to do it. But I'm okay with Cubbies. Luzardo versus Alcantara. This was a super weird game. Like every bottom feeder of the Phillies hit a home run. It was really, really wacky. I did like Kepler, and he hit his first at bat, but Bader hit, Marsh hit, Stott hit. Like, what? I don't know. Don't expect them to do that again, but you can still take them. I still like Kepler. Obviously, I like Schwarber and Harper, but they are kind of cooling off. But Sandy has had a rough year, so feel free. I mean, they're all good targets here. I think I already kind of thought of a chalky parlay. I like Schwarber, Ohtani, Judge, something like that. Saturdays, I just feel like a lot of the big name guys tend to hit, especially Judge and Ohtani. As far as Marlins go, I mean, Ramirez is fine. I just Hernandez hasn't hit in so long. I would say Hernandez, and I'm okay if you take him. Same with Wagaman, if that's how you say his name. Then if you want some insane long shots, you can go with like Acosta or Sonoja if they play. But these are single long shots. Like I wouldn't parlay them with anybody. But if I take any Marlin, it would be Ramirez for sure. If I take any, which I probably won't. This game is a clear cut. Please do not bet this game. I would be shocked if Montgomery even plays. If Montgomery plays, only live, like you can go for, let's see what the odds are. It could be pretty crazy. Yeah, he's plus 750. But honestly, to me, that just tells me he's not going to play. So be very careful before you bet this tonight, especially if you use FanDuel, because he does not hit lefties well at all. So be really careful of that, and just like look at all these odds. These are crazy. So if you want to gamble, but I wouldn't recommend doing it against Paul Skeens. Scooball, and the wind is still really good, but the Tigers are just so disappointing right now. Like, look at their odds too, because Perez is really good. I mean, I think Torkelson's fine because he's got the righty lefty. But this is another Riley Green. He probably won't play either. I would be surprised if he played. Even if he does, I would not take him. I'm not saying don't take him, but I would not recommend taking him. He has really bad numbers off lefties. So really look at their splits. Like Andy Ibanez will play because he's a good lefty hitter. He's a righty that hits the lefties well. And if you want like a long shot, sure, take Andy Ibanez. That's just like for funsies. But really the only name here I would personally consider if I'm going to bet anybody is Torkelson. All right, so let's go to Cincinnati. We know the Mets are playing them, and I love Soto in this game. Soto, Nimmo, maybe McNeil is like a semi-long shot, depending on what his odds are. Even Mullins, he's plus 420. I mean, this is such a great hitter stadium. As you can see, Soto's 230. Of course, I still like Petey for sure. This is a very interesting game that you might, if you do a lot of singles, you can consider stacking the Mets in this game if you're that type of bettor. Like, this is really good looking. And Vientos hit on Friday too, which I liked him. So Lindor is probably like one of the last guys I take right now. He's pretty cold, but he is their leadoff, and I love leadoffs, so feel free. I still like him. So yeah, we love Mets. Great weather, great. The wind's really good. Well, it's only 5 miles per hour, but it's still good. It's blowing out. As far as Reds go, against this Tong, I'm assuming he's a rookie. I'm good. They're just tough to pick right now. I don't think it's. You can. I mean, you can take McLean, you can take Marte, but this is just one of those teams I'm going to eliminate from my player pool because I don't want to play everybody on the slate. Milwaukee and Pittsburgh is also an interestingly bad-looking game. I mean, Turang's okay. A lot of people, I see them putting Turang in their parlays, and I just, I don't know. I understand he's hot. I understand you can take him. Perfect lefty-righty matchup. Check the weather. Good weather, but it is cool. 65 degrees. Just keep in mind PNC Park is terrible for home runs. So I would be careful with this game. And Keller does not allow the home runs. If he has a bad start, he might, obviously, he could allow some. He had a start like a month or so ago where he gave up like 2 or 3 home runs in a row. But I still just this feels like a Beatty game to me. Plus the over-under's only 8, so let's see what they're saying. Yeah, look at these home run odds. It's just not. They're trying to bait you into these, and I'm not saying you can't pick from this game. I'm just saying it's going to be tough. So just be careful with this game. And I'm talking about both teams. I wouldn't take either. Cruz I think is okay, but Woodruff's had a good year, even though he hasn't pitched that much yet. But let's go to Baltimore. Much better hitters park. The only problem is Trevor Rogers is pitching for Baltimore, and he's been extremely good this year. And the Dodgers are really bad right now, really bad. Obviously, Ohtani's okay, but as bad as they are right now, and they just lost their other catcher. I'm pretty sure, at least. I think he fouled the ball off his leg, and he was in a lot of pain. They're just running out of players now. So this is another this complete game, and there's a 48% chance of rain too. But there's just, this slate is just kind of looking a little rough, but there are better games, I promise. Wind blowing in, chance of rain, so this is just another game I would not advise taking unless you really want to. Even Ohtani's plus 280, and you don't see his odds that high very often. That is actually a good time to take him in a way. Look, they got Benny Boy. He's probably going to start. He used to play for the Rays. All right. So yeah, I'm going to avoid that game too. This game I like a lot if it doesn't rain out. 66% chance of rain. Bibby versus Baz. Baz has had a really bad year, and I absolutely love Manzardo. I was telling my Discord today, a 2-legger I absolutely love today is Manzardo and Soto. And if you really want to, and I'm not advising to put a lot of money on this because these long shots are really hard to hit, but I like them for 2 home runs each too, and you can parlay them for 2. And put it on singles if you want, the 2. But I like Manzardo and Soto a lot today. Those are probably my 2 top picks for the day. And, of course, Jose is okay. And, yeah, I mean, pretty much any of these guys are okay if you want a long shot with Quan, but he's just not, Unfortunately, he didn't hit for us on Thursday, which when we really needed him. And then as far as Tampa goes, I mean, Lau's okay. Brandon, if you want Josh, it's fine too. Caminero hit on Friday, so of course we like his back-to-back. And he's very streaky. He will hit multiple games in a row. So I really like Caminero. And yeah, I think you could parlay low in Caminero. I could see them hitting back to back like Jose and Kyle like to do. So this looks like a pretty good game as long as it plays. Just keep an eye on it. See, they like low too. They have the same odds. They're both plus 340, but I really like them. And Manzardo. Just trying to see if there's any good long shots. Look at Chandler Simpson's plus 1700. All right, moving on. We'll go to Kansas City, Missouri, against the Twins. Joe Ryan's having a good year. If you want any Twins against Kolek, who has struggled recently, it's fine. Let's check the weather real quick. Am I blind? Kinda. I wear glasses, so I'm a nerd. Yeah, good weather. Okay. Looks all right. I just, this stadium I don't really like. It's not a very good hitter's park. So I would probably be very careful with KC. As far as the Twins, I mean, they actually have the worst record since the All-Star break. So keep in mind, they've just been really bad. I mean, obviously they traded away a lot of good players. But, I mean, Buxton's always okay, as we know. And then if you want to try the Walner-Larnack play. But overall, as a team, they're just cold. And I do still like Lewis, but it just seems like the whole team's cooling off. So this game, I would just be cautious with. If you want Vinny, that's fine. Yaz, the usual Witt, Perez. Just be cautious with that game. For me, just how I think, I'm not going to pick from this game. Houston and Texas, this was a snooze fest, but Correa hit a home run and Berger hit a home run for Texas. I was pretty surprised to see that. Hunter Brown versus DeGrom. Yeah, this is another game. Look at the over-under. 6.5. I want to see the odds in this game. Is it not listed yet? Here it is. And they're not that bad. But just be careful. You can theoretically take your favorite players here, but just be careful. It's another game that this whole slate has good pitching for the most part. Like Waldrop's pitching for Atlanta. This guy's been ridiculous this year. However, so I don't like Seattle against Waldrop, obviously, unless you want to take Cal or something. If you want to gamble it, yeah. Like I say, that's just pure gambling in my mind. If you're trying to take like Cal or not Cal, but like I don't know, Polanco or Randy or something. But I actually do like the Braves against Miller. Miller's been really bad this year. And good weather, great hitter's park. Over-under still 9 despite Waldrop pitching. So I do like mostly probably Profar and Harris. But if you want to give Olsen, Acuna, or Baldwin a try, I mean, the vast majority of this lineup is okay here, except for I don't even know if Alvarez has a home run in his career, so I probably wouldn't recommend him, but if you're really trying to gamble, then go for it. Yeah, he literally has 0 home runs in his career. Is this the day? Seriously though, I wouldn't risk it. But yeah, Braves look good here, so go for some of them, and if you really want to gamble, take some Mariners. All right, so I read this somewhere on Reddit or something that somebody said Devers has a home run at every game he's played in St. Louis or some, I don't know. So that's why I put him in that parlay today. I was like, really? And I obviously should have put a single on him, but in my write-up I just said Devers and Adames. That's all I said this entire game, and they hit back-to-back home runs in the first inning. So I was like, at least I got something right today. But yeah, I mean, I think pretty much go the same way. Stick with Devers and Adames. I mean, Chapman's always okay too, but it's another park that I don't like. However, it just seems like Devers loves hitting against the Cardinals, so take him again. And Adames is hot, so they're both hot. So it's and they bat back to back, so I like it a lot. And Verlander's really struggled this year, so me and the Cardinals, I don't like taking them. But if you want Gorman, I think it's okay. Why isn't Contreras listed? Is he hurt? Who's their catcher? Oh, Pajes. He's kind of a sneaky pick. Pedro actually might be okay. Here they are. Endeavors is plus 450. Those are some. They're all three. All the three top guys are all 450. I had somebody asked me today on Discord if they should take Drew Gilbert, and honestly, like I think sometimes you just got to get names like this out of your head. It's just like it's so risky in my mind to take people like he has like 3 home runs this year, and I get he hasn't played much, but just try to avoid names like that. That's all I'm saying. Like it's just not a good play. And I don't mean to call you out or anything. I just want people to understand. Like you just be careful with your money. You know, we're gambling here. Just be careful. Where are we? So yeah, St. Louis. I just new Bar Gorman. I think that's fine. And then maybe Pedro Pajes. Is it Pages or Pajes on this guy? I don't know. All right. The ever so disappointing Padres play the Rockies. Now, the win still sucks. I did warn Discord in my write-up to be careful with this game because of the wind, and I was pretty accurate. I'm trying to remember what I said. I said wind is blowing at 9 miles per hour, so be a bit cautious. And then, of course, I listed the typical names, but like it's kind of hard to pick. And this wind isn't technically that bad, but it's not ideal. But McCade Brown's pitching, and we know he's had a rough year, even though he only has a couple starts. So obviously, Tatis, Machado, your typical Padres are okay here. I would prefer the righties because the wind is blowing in from right field, which is bad for lefties. So stick with Ramon, Machado, and Tatis. And then I'm not saying you can't take the lefties. You certainly can. But just be a bit more cautious with them. And then as far as Rockies, I know Goodman hit. They're just bad. So the only guy I would like is probably Mickey or Goodman. Maybe Doyle. But just be careful with the Rockies because they stink. Even though they did win 3-0. But the over-under says 12. And the Padres, after a team gets shut out, typically the next game, like they just have a field day. Hopefully, I hope they do, because this is supposed to be a good place to hit, but that wind just kind of sucks. Let's see what they're looking like. Yeah, Goodman's the favorite again. The Machado, Tatis, Laureano. Yeah, so any of these guys that you see are fine. Merrill, I wish I could pick. He just stinks this year. Giolito versus Brandon Pfaadt. Boston and Arizona. I like Duran back in the leadoff spot. He used to be their leadoff hitter, and obviously Anthony got hurt. So I think that's fine. Duran's good. Brandon does pitch better at home, so this is another kind of like be cautious with it type thing. But he's kind of on and off. Like his ERA does stink right now. So I think Duran's okay. Bregman, I don't know when he's going to hit a home run, so somebody tell me. And then even Story's cooled off. So I would probably go very light on this game. But I'm thinking Duran. And then, of course, I had Carroll on, was it Wednesday? And then they were off Thursday, and he hit Friday. He always hits the day after, the game after I take him, literally. So thanks, Corbin Carroll. No, he's a great player. And I just probably wouldn't pick any D-backs against Giolito. But I think Carroll's okay. I mean, he's technically matchup proof, but he's just been struggling lately. And then Perdomo, for whatever reason, is just randomly hitting home runs, and people are putting, like, here's our winning slips. Like, people are putting him in their parlays. This is a guy that plays a lot of singles, and this is really the way to go. Like, you know, he's hiding how much he's betting, but that's fine. We don't unit shame. Here's a nice parlay that someone hit. They didn't put how much they bet, but some people were putting, yeah. People are winning a lot on here, which is good. Montgomery, Vientos. But yeah, I can't find it. Wow, $50 on Garcia. Who the heck? All right. Anyway, let's go to the Angel Stadium. Gin versus Kikuchi. Someone said either Shea or Rooker. I think they said Rooker had really bad numbers off Kikuchi. It is Rooker Saturday. I can't say no to him, and he's got a righty-lefty matchup at a great ballpark for hitting. So maybe he'll get his first home run off him on Saturday. I mean, he should. It is Rooker Saturday. Obviously, if Shea's leading off, I mean, either way, I still like him. I think this is a good day to do that teammate parlay, as usual. Parlay Shea and Rooker. And then, I mean, it is a lefty-lefty, so be careful with those. But if you like Hertz or Soderstrom, that's fine. I kind of like Giloff, or I don't know how to say his name, Giloff. Has like a little bit of a long shot. He is not listed. Oh, 520. So that's okay. And even like Jacob Wilson has like a long shot, like in a single. Those are fine. And then Angels against Ginn, pretty much anyone you like. Obviously Adele, Nito. Mike Trout, where you at, buddy? I'm waiting for those 2 home runs to get 400. As far as long shots, I mean, Mercado's fine. Yeah, pretty standard picks there. Nothing out of the ordinary. And I think that's pretty much it. Yeah. Just remember, I really, really like. I say Soto and Manzardo. Oh my God, I'm so tired. Who was pitching for? Yeah, Lau. So like this, I like a lot. If you want to add a third to it, I like Lau. I know he's been disappointing us lately, but I like this as a 2-legger, and 25 pays 354. So that's, I don't know. I just like that as a 2-legger. And if you want to add one more to it, I would add either like Brandon Lau or... Ooh, it's kind of tough. Either like Judge or Stan or something like that is fine too. Barshow. That looks pretty good. But like I said, I prefer righties in the Yankees game, so I would probably go Judge or Stan, one of those two. Judge has to hit eventually. And he hits like every Saturday, I feel like. If he's going to take over for Rooker. So do that if you'd like. And, of course, my classic Shea Rooker. I got to do it. Got to do it, man. All right. Make sure you subscribe and like the video. Let's see if we hit 1,400 while I was sitting here doing nothing. Hey, look at that. Hey. We're there. We did it. Thank you guys and gals and ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate all the support. I get a lot of really kind words throughout the day. It makes me feel all fuzzy inside. But yeah, let's keep it going. And I also was able to apply for monetization today. So that was exciting too. We're moving on up. And that'll be it. And I hope you all have a great night. Like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye-bye.